I'm about to lose my brain. I really wanna get on a plane. What's up? What's up? Coronavirus got me fucked up. I'm about to lose my brain. I really wanna get on a plane. Can't rap for shit. My you need to quit. I'm trying to do this, but I'm about to go crazy in this bitch. What's up, everybody? So today we're gonna be talking about the #1 question. How did you learn Espanol? So I ain't finna give you no magic tricks, but I'm just gonna tell you how it is. Now, I did do this video in Spanish, so if you're interested, you can go click the link to it right here. All right, so this whole thing went down in high school with my advisor. She told me I had to either take French or Spanish. I already told her that I did not want to take a foreign language. She was like, if you do not take a foreign language, you will not graduate high school. I was like, are you kidding me? And she was like, yep. So then she put me down for French. I was like, heck no, I don't want to take French. Just put me down for Spanish because, you know, we live in the United States. There's a bunch of Latinos in the United States. So that's why I told her. I was like, just put me down for Spanish. End up in Spanish class, hate that shit. I had absolutely no desire to learn Spanish. When I say that I hated Spanish, I hated going to Spanish class, bro. I did not do any of my homework. I didn't take any of it seriously. You know, I wasn't studying in the beginning. Like, I just did not care about Spanish because I felt like at that time in my life as a 14-year-old, I did not see how Spanish could benefit me in any way possible, okay? I literally remember sitting in class saying, like, I'm not moving to Mexico. I don't really want to do this crap. Don't really see how this is going to help me in my professional career, but, you know, it is what it is. So we get our first test. You know what I made? I made a 35 because I did not give a... Yeah, obviously I did not study for the test. I didn't really care about it. But the teacher, on the other hand, was not having it, and she actually pulled me out into the hallway, all right? Now, the reason why she pulled me out into the hallway is because she already knew I was a straight A student. Like, all through high school, I made straight A's, right? So basically, she saw my grade and she knew it was a bunch of BS because she knew I wasn't trying. And she told me, I want you to go home. I want you to study for this test and you're gonna retake it tomorrow. So she gave me the test. I went home, I studied. Next day, passed it, easy 100. You know, like, it was simple. So yeah, she forced me to take the class seriously. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I was not enthusiastic about it. Okay, like, I really did not want to do it. I would much rather go listen to an opera. But then, at some point in that year, something changed. I started to like Spanish. And I remember that moment too. I remember I felt in denial about it, like, bruh, why am I starting to like this language? Like, this is a little bit weird. And not only that, but I was really good at it. I was the best one in the class. I was making hundreds on every single test. 100, 100, 100, 100. A, back to back to back to back. I was making perfect scores. I had gotten so good at it that people actually used to pay me money to do their Spanish homework in high school. Like, that's how good at Spanish I was. And I maintained this over the course of 4 years throughout high school. And by my senior year, I had won the award for like the highest Spanish average in my graduating class. So, you know, I thought that was pretty impressive. After I graduated high school, I ended up going to Mexico. Now, at this point, I got super cocky. I was like, yeah, like, I know all the Spanish. You know, I got the highest Spanish average in my class. Like, I'm about to go over to Mexico, speak with all the natives. Like, you know, this is gonna be lit, whatever. I get over to Mexico and I quickly realized that my Spanish is trash, bro, okay? I couldn't even hold a conversation with a native speaker. And that was a huge wake-up call for me that my Spanish wasn't as good as I thought it was. And the reason why I couldn't speak Spanish to the natives is because I was only limited to what I learned in the classroom. And that's why I tell people that it doesn't matter how many hundreds you make on the test or how many good grades that you got. If you cannot apply it to the real world, then it don't mean shit. So I was actually pretty surprised by that, and that actually put me in a state of determination that I was gonna actually learn this language. So when I got back to the States, I turned my entire life to Spanish, okay? I turned TV in Spanish, phone in Spanish, everything was in Spanish. Wake up, Spanish. Go to sleep, Spanish. Eat, Spanish. Drink, Spanish. Everything was Spanish, okay? Even the music I was listening to. Anything and everything I did, I was always doing it in Spanish. So then we get to college and I become friends with a bunch of Latinos because I go to an international school. So all the people at my school come from different countries. So I became friends with Venezuelans, you know, people from Mexico, Cuba, where else? Ecuador, like all over the world, basically. So when I was hanging out with them, they would always be speaking Spanish amongst each other, and we would go hang out or go to parties or whatever. Everything was always in Spanish, and so I was learning a lot like that. All right, sorry guys, I'm back. I just did a 2-hour interview on somebody else's channel, and I took a nap, so I'm back. I'm about to finish this video. All right, so then one day I finally decided that I was gonna travel because I knew at that time my Spanish, I started to get very good at it, but it just wasn't at the place that I wanted it to be yet. So I had the idea, why not go live in another country? Because the fastest way to learn another language is to actually go to a country that speaks that language. So for that reason, I got on a plane to the Dominican Republic, and I just made a video about my process of living in the Dominican Republic. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out right there. But yeah, so basically I was in the Dominican Republic, and of course when I got there, the Spanish was very, very difficult. They use a lot of terminology and slang that I was not accustomed to, because it was not what I studied in high school. So yeah, it was pretty confusing for the first few weeks, and then after time I got really good at it. Not to mention I was living with somebody who only spoke Spanish, so that actually really helped me. Like I said in the other video, his name was Wilner. It was a Haitian guy, but he only spoke Spanish, so that was the only way that we could communicate. So that actually really helped me. And all my friends spoke Spanish. I didn't have any American friends the entire time of me living in the Dominican Republic. So for that reason, I did learn Spanish very quickly. So then after being in the DR for a while, I finally got a job opportunity in Spain. So I actually went to Spain to go teach kids English. I was living with a family. That was like the type of, I guess, setup it was. It was kind of like a program, I guess. So I was living with a Spanish family in Madrid, Spain, in this big ass mansion, okay? This mansion was huge. It had a pool, an elevator, a river in the backyard. So basically all I had to do was watch these kids all day, teach them English, and I was living for free. So yeah, I was living up in Spain, and I was getting paid every week. And once again, the family who I was living with, they did not speak English, so I had no choice but to speak Spanish every single day. So me and the family, we kind of got into an altercation. It was really me and the mom, and I made a story time video about that. It was a really, really, really crazy story time. But yeah, basically I ended up quitting that job and leaving Spain because the mama lost her damn mind, okay? So I ended up leaving and coming back to the States for a little bit. But yeah, definitely after Spain, I'll say that's when I became fluent. But yeah, that's pretty much how I learned Spanish. It was mostly me being self-taught and of course living in other countries. And I'll say this whole process probably took me like a good year and a few months. So I'll say a year and some change. Yeah, that's pretty much my story. And I got other videos to give you language learning tips on this channel for the people who are aspiring to learn another language. Obviously, language learning is a continual process, so you never actually technically stop learning. But yeah, every year my Spanish evolves. But guys, please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and catch me on the next one. Peace.